So the vision for our Leader as Coach training programs has been born from some of the most profound insights from the organizational literature over the past decade. One of those insights is that over 70% of the variance in employee engagement is hinging on that employee's experience of their line manager. In fact, almost any indicator of performance you choose to measure comes down to that employee's experience of their line manager, their well-being, their engagement, their productivity, their happiness, and of course their performance. One of the more recent findings from the Gallup organization is that the most important habit of a great manager is one meaningful conversation with the people in their team every week. One of the things that we know when we study the applied psychology of human behavior is that people often have poor intuitions when it comes to thinking about how to get the best out of others. Two of those poor intuitions are be directive, guide people, lead them and direct them. And then the other intuition is to focus on their weaknesses as their greatest opportunity for development. When we study the most successful managers and the most successful coaches and parents and teachers, they seem to know something that other people don't know. They have better intuitions about how to unlock the potential of others. And those intuitions are as following. They focus on their strengths as their greatest opportunity for development, not their weaknesses. And number two, they are non-directive in the way that they lead and support those people. What that means when I say non-directive is that they coach them, they don't direct them. So some of the fun that we have on our Leader as Coach program is when these great people come on our course, we spend the first day helping them unlearn some old habits. And one of those habits is the habit of being overly directive with the way that they help their people grow and perform. So by the end of day one, we set them a challenge. Can you sit with somebody for 30 minutes and resist the urge to give them a single piece of advice? So here's some interesting findings. A lot of people think that their advice is better than it actually is. And here's another interesting finding. Even if their advice is exactly what that employee needs to hear, that employee isn't going to take it unless they can truly own it for themselves. And that is what leaders who coach know above everybody else. They know that their intuitions around how to get the best out of people. Coaching is often a poorly understood word and sometimes has an unhelpful stigma attached to it, particularly when some leaders feel that coaching is a soft touch approach to getting the best out of their people. Actually, coaching is just a synonym for so many great aspects of better human interactions. Coaching is a synonym for applied emotional intelligence. It's a synonym for self-regulation when you are in the company of tension, conflict, and strong emotions. Coaching is a synonym for growth, development, learning. It's a synonym for empathy. So coaching is actually a synonym for just better human interactions. And we know that when leaders have better interactions with their employees, the employees will then go and have better interactions with their customers. And better interactions between employees and customers is one of the single biggest drivers of profitability in your organization. Of course, we arrived into the 21st century over 22, 23 years ago, and things have moved on. How we understand human behavior has moved on. And it's now time for leaders to step into a new domain of leadership. When young people go to school in the 21st century, they're not taught to conform. They're not taught to follow. They're actually taught to be leaders. They're taught to disrupt and to be critical thinkers. They're taught to take responsibility for their own learning. And then when those young people come into the workplace and they have a command-control style of leadership, not only does it quash their engagement and their motivation, but it goes against everything about the way that they've developed up until the point when they've stepped into your organization. And young people are often challenged around entitlement and a sense of urgency around their progress. But actually, leaders who coach understand the counterintuitive secrets to human motivation, and they understand how to apply those secrets with the people that they lead. There are three fundamental needs to being optimally engaged and motivated. And this research has actually been understood for a long time. Edward Deci and Richard Ryan talk about 3 key needs to be optimally engaged and motivated. At the top of that is autonomy, a sense and a feeling that you're in control and that you have choice and agency over what you do. Number 2 is mastery, a sense that your strengths are engaged and involved in the activities that you do at work, a feeling that you're useful and effective and competent. And then number 3, relatedness and connection. Coaching directly applies those 3 principles of human motivation. It's non-directive, so it allows people to feel a sense of autonomy and agency. It's focused on strengths, and we know that people grow faster and further when they identify their strengths as their greatest opportunity for development, hence mastery. And it really understands the nuance around great connection and empathetic relationship building, which is the relatedness piece. Great coaches know that an overly directive approach robs people of a sense of autonomy, makes the leader the expert in the relationship, not the employee, which robs them of their sense of mastery. And underwritten in an overly directive approach is an implicit sense of judgment, which creates disconnection and erodes relationships. Our Leader as Coach program can be blended in lots of different ways to suit the needs of the organization. It's accredited and certified by the CPD Standards Office in the UK with CPD points and a rubber stamp of training excellence. We also follow the competencies through the Association for Coaching and the International Coaching Federation, and our instructors are also accredited by the International Coaching Federation as well. So we really, really understand what great coaching looks like in organizations. And our Leader as Coach program, whether it's a 1-day, 2-day or 3-day course, really excites and energizes and transforms leaders' ability to unlock the potential of the people in their team in a way that they haven't been able to do before.